Broadcasting to viewers in Liberia and across the globe. Hello and welcome to News Today on KMTV with me, Anthony Kokoi. Wherever you're watching us from, we say thanks for joining our news broadcast tonight. Let's take a look at stories making the headlines. Aggrieved Catholic school teachers stage protests over demands for wages. President George Weah commissions newly confirmed cabinet ministers, urged them to do their work, committed to duty. And in sports, Leska FC, Monova Club Breweries, War Girls and F Angels all progressed to the LFA off-season tournament at the Antoinette Dutman Stadium. The details of these developments plus other interesting developments are coming up on today's edition of KMTV News Today. Many thanks for staying with us. We begin the program in Monrovia, where aggrieved Catholic school teachers under the banner the Association of Catholic Teachers and Support Staff on Monday gathered on Asma Street in Monrovia to protest over what they call girls' refusal of the Catholic school secretariat to address their concerns. The association earlier issued a release mandating all teachers of Catholic schools across Liberia to stay home beginning last Tuesday, October 13, until the school system can see a reason to address their plights. For more on today's protest, here's KMTV's Emmanuel Kwali with this report.
Holding placards and shouting slogans, the aggrieved Catholic school teachers could no longer hold back their emotions as they stormed the Catholic Education Secretariat up Asmon Streets on early Monday. The group, which appeared to be uncompromising, vowed to remain on strike until CES fully pays salaries and arrears allegedly owed them for the last 3 months.
Discussing October salary, let me be very clear. October salary is not part of our negotiation. October salary, we are work for A. And at the end of October, it will be placed in our possession. 3, we want to stay here. We want to stay here that CES should not run a system that is inhumane. You can be a religious entity and you employ people for 3 years, which is diabolical. And the system will understand this. As of Wednesday, an MOU should be prepared indicating that the loan 3 months, the policy manual that carry 3 years is default. That policy manual is default 6 years. So you cannot have a policy manual that is default using a clause for it carrying a high input for 3 years.
Moments following the strike action, Catholic Justice and Peace Commission arrived on the scenes of the protest to hold discussion with the aggrieved teachers to find an amicable solution. CJPC assures protesting teachers of their job security and at the same time work along with the relevant authority to ensure that the teachers' concerns are adequately addressed.
I go to the negotiation table if my job is on the line. It must be clear that I will not have any threat to my job. That job security.
The aggrieved Catholic school teachers have, however, vowed not to return to classroom until their Wednesday's meeting with Catholic school authorities is here with fruitful account. They maintain that anything contrary to the outcome of the meeting, the teachers will resist and will once again storm the streets.
On Wednesday, what we are entering into is constant, is just, is confident that we will go to Wednesday meeting. We don't want for the family to do it, no other thing. All of the counts, the 5 counts, we are attended to. And it should be in black and white. How will it approach, how will the administration will approach teachers to it? The negotiation is no further negotiation.
Protesting for salaries and just benefits is becoming a new phenomenon in Liberia's labor sector. With a protest in recent times, it is anyone guessed at the Catholic Secretariat who address the plights of their workers. Emmanuel Tatomukoli, KMTV News, Monrovia.
Let's now move to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where President George Weah on Monday commissioned a new batch of newly confirmed cabinet ministers. Commissioning the Senate confirmed members of his government, President Weah urged the ministers to discharge their duties in the interest of the Liberian people and for the good of the nation. He said his recent reshuffle of government, as well as the appointment of new persons into the government, was meant to energize his team to deliver on the promises made to the Liberian people.
Who have recently been appointed by me and confirmed by the Senate of the Republic of Liberia. Honorable D. Maswat Kimanya, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Honorable Mawani G. Dix, Minister of Commerce and Industry. Honorable Lechewu J. Rennie, Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. Honorable Charles Gehlen, Minister of Labor. At this May point of my term in office, I've deemed it appropriate to reorganize my cabinet and governance team in order to make it more effective in delivering on our mandate on the people of Liberia. Today, the new appointees, let me tell you that you have been vetted, selected, nominated, confirmed, and now being commissioned with my full confidence and support to discharge your assigned duties in the best interest of our people. Our expectations of you are very high, and we are convinced that you will live up to these expectations and not disappoint us. Meanwhile, for their service to this government, I would like to express my thanks and appreciation to those members of the cabinet who have been removed or reassigned.
As the governor of Liberia on Monday commenced the conduct of autopsies on the remains of 4 auditors who died mysteriously in the country, the husband of one of the late auditors, Gifty Laman's, Mr. Sylvester Laman, has expressed regret over the government's reaction since the incident occurred. Mr. Laman explained the situation surrounding his wife's death when he appeared on Sky FM's talk show 50/50. KMTV's Lofty Winnerworth followed the program and filed in this report.
Sylvester Laman, the husband of Slade LRA employee Gifty Laman, expressed dissatisfaction into government's proceedings in the death and investigation of his wife on grounds that the government or the LRA has not come publicly to condemn the gruesome murder of his wife and other government auditors who also died mysteriously.
So the Liberian people can know what is really unfolding, including the international community, let them know that we have been denied justice as family as it relates to the death of our loved ones. The father and all pleaded with the Liberian National Police. They deny us of seeing my wife's body. They drove the body, they carried the body to JFK. The 2 cars, my wife's car, along with Mr. Peter's car. They carried the body to JFK. We got to JFK. They also deny us of seeing my wife's body. We all agree with the LRA group. They took the body that they should just preserve the body. There should be no embalming until an autopsy can be conducted.
Appearing on Sky FM 50/50 on Monday, Laman said, since the death of his wife, the family is not being served justice. As such, he does not believe that the autopsy will be transparent, adding that since the incident, the government has not acted in their interest but has rather been imposing some challenges, including the refusal to provide an independent pathologist.
Why is sin doing on my wife's shoe? You know the justification the policeman gave me?
No.
When we took the body to JFK, it was that difficult to remove the body in the car. Those who came to remove the body in the car, they're the one who was stepping on the shoe on the seat. I said, oh man, the entire JFK fan, a concrete pavement. We continue to say as family, the process will not be transparent. The pathologists that you are talking about, these are people who are paid by government. They work for government.
He revealed that prior to the discovery of his wife's body, Family applied unnecessary efforts to locate her by simultaneously calling her phone and visiting hospitals in Monrovia as the alleged unknown killer kept answering and telling them how the body could be discovered.
I received a call from my sister-in-law about 7 p.m. She said, "Oh, but we have been calling your wife since this morning. There have been no response." So we went to the police station, reported the case to the charge of court. They took us to the traffic division to find out whether there was any accident. We proceeded to JFK. We went to the emergency ward, they checked the log. There were no guilty aspirant. They took us to the wards to check. We checked all that, we could not find. Then we went to Catholic, went to almost all of the hospital. By 2 a.m. in the morning, my sister-in-law by the name of Christina Asma died the number on a private. Her phone now died, my wife, Lone Star number on the private. A gentleman answered the phone. He said, "Hello," but he did not cut the phone off. And you know, understanding it. So my sister-in-law was monitoring, then you could hear the guy knocking a door. Then you could hear them say, "Who's that?" Then he said, "That means Supreme." You could see they open the door, then you see the guy waiting. My sister, we were still monitoring the phone. You could hear, you know, some noise in the background saying, "Let's do it this way, let's do it this way." By 3, they died her second number. The second number, the person answered. So we asked her about, "Can we talk to the person?" He said, "Oh, the person is okay. You will see your sister in the car in the morning."
From October 1st to the 8th, 4 government auditors have died mysteriously as the causes of their deaths remain unknown. KMTV News, Lofty Wenawe, Monrovia.
Well, still with the mysterious death issue in Liberia, the Chief Executive Officer of the Institute for Internal Auditors based in the United States, Richard Chambers, has pleaded with the U.S. Secretary of State to accept President Zuia's request to aid with the investigation into the mysterious death of 4 Liberian auditors. All 4 auditors met their untimely death within the course of 8 days under suspicious circumstances. Their death continued to spark public outcry, prompting President George Weah to call for the assistance of the United States government to help with the ongoing investigation to uncover the true nature of their demises. Let's now move over to Bond County, where former ANC Vice Presidential candidate Jeremiah Slonted has officially joined the Congress for Democratic Change, a constituent party of the Coalition for Democratic Change. Pledging his loyalty to the CDC over the weekend in Bond County, Mr. Slonted said his decision is not based on self-interest. KMTV status Yekejan has the details of that story.
Supporters and well-wishers of Ambassador Jeremiah Slonted gathered to witness their leader joining the Congress for Democratic Change on Saturday in Banga. The CDC becomes the 5th political party that Mr. Slonted has subscribed to political loyalty to in 16 years. Ambassador Slonted said he joined the CDC without precondition, maintaining his action is a response to a call to national patriotism, but not to seek self-interest.
Our coming to the CDC is in response to a clarion call to national patriotic duty. It is not about satisfying our personal interest, for it is more about meeting the challenges of the national renewal than satisfying a personal ego. It is in the context of this commitment, Mr. Chairman and officials of the CDC, that we stood in this same auditorium and supported the CDC in 2017 presidential runoff, which you won. We did not do so in exchange for any political benefit.
Before announcing his membership to the CDC, Mr. Slonted told the citizens that his face will not be on the ballot paper in the December 8 elections. When he signed his membership to the CDC, the former Liberian ambassador immediately declared his support and lifted the hands of Bone County Equipment Senator Henry Willie Yala for the December 8 elections. For his part, CDC Chairman Moba Mulu thanked Ambassador Slonted for crossing over to the ruling establishment and at the same time promised to protect and stand with Mr. Slonted in whatever he does.
You have joined the right back to this part as a matter of opportunities. It doesn't matter how long you stay in CDC. When your time comes,
the platform will be given to you. We are proud of you. What you've done makes us proud. We stand with you. We protect you. We strive to make you happy. We will ensure, even when it came without precondition, but we will ensure that whatever you desire, by the grace of God, that we can provide, will be given.
Mr. Slonte became a member of the then newly elected ruling Unity Party in 2006 after he lost the vice presidency to Joseph Yuman Boakai. He later joined the Alternative National Congress in 2017 and became the vice tender barrier to Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummins. Slonte, however, failed to deliver his district to the ANC. KMTV News, Titus Yeganya, Banga.
From Bon County, we now return to Moserado County, where Liberian journalist and popular talk show host Timas Gehlen has accused the CDC-led government of wanting to kill him. The host of the popular 50-50 talk show said for some time now he has noticed 2 vehicles continuously following him. He added that he knows what exactly is going on and has informed the international community about the government's intention to assassinate him. He has been explaining more on the Monday's edition of his talk show.
I am surprised that these things will be happening. A government headed by George Mane Weah. Am I surprised? Yes, I am surprised. With Taylor, with my role with Charles Taylor, it was understandable that I would expect these things to happen. I did not expect that to happen between me and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. This is me, the cherished friend of the CDC for 12 years. I have not changed. That is my chemistry. If it's wrong, I will tell you it is wrong. I'm surprised that this government under Mane that spoke about change and a new way of living will result to chasing people, to killing people, to wanting to kill people because in their mind they are their enemies. I'm not going to go anywhere. I can tell you this much. I am not going to go anywhere. I will not change my routine. I am who I always been. You want to keep?
Well, still with that development, the government of Liberia said its attention has been drawn to the situation after the president of Liberia, in a release, reported receiving a formal complaint from journalist Timas Gehlen alleging threats on his life. The accounts reported by the union, according to the government, the accounts reported by the union is shocking and warrants government's extending invitation to the president of Liberia and Mr. Gehlen in order to ascertain the actual nature of the allegation. The meeting is scheduled to take place on Wednesday, 11 a.m., October 21, at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. The National Civil Society Council and the Interreligious Council of Liberia have both been invited to form part of the meeting. The Rotary Club of Monroeville has commenced a spelling bee competition among primary students between the ages of 6 to 13. The club is a partnering organization to Rotary International, which provides worldwide community service and business networking. As KMTV's Zach Sherman reports, the program is part of the club's annual education program, which seeks to enhance the sector for nation building.
October of each year is the month of education, which Rotary Art Club of Monroeville consider taking on specific education program. In this year education program, the club took on a spelling bee competition among primary Liberian students between the ages of 6 to 13. The competition, which is inclusive of males and female students, according to Rotary Art Club of Monroeville President Howard Blama, is part of effort to reawaken the zest for education with the impact of COVID-19.
Rotary is in different areas. So this is our education, and this month is our education month. We decided to do this spelling bee because we want the children that sat down home for the coronavirus. They are not doing anything, so we wanted to bring out what they left behind. So we wanted to make them to grow and still remember what they are learned in school. So we keep them with the activities going with the spelling bee, that they can still get a reminder that they need to go back to school and they still need to study.
Howard Blama cautioned parents to consider working with their kids in order to achieve their goals. The president of the Roto Art Club of Monrovia at the same time wants the contestants build confidence in themselves to raise the bar.
Without the parents, the children cannot make it, and without the children, the parents cannot make it. So we want for the parents to rip out them, to make sure to study them, to make sure to empower them that they will be able to move to the. I want to encourage my contestants to study high, to be confident in themselves, to also think that they have a future ahead of them, and to work hard to reach to the final.
Out of 14 contestants, 12 students were selected based on their performance to the next round due next weekend. Winner of the competition is expected to take home over 400 United States dollars with other benefits. Zach Dotiaman, KMTV News, Concord Town.
Let's now move over to Nimba County, where life is becoming difficult for residents of Ganta, especially those living within the LPRC community due to the deplorable state of the road linking the community to other parts of the city. As KMTV's Nathaniel Tukwa reports, transportation fare has increased as a result of the prevailing situation.
Due to the deplorable state of the road, which links the community to the rest of the city, transportation fare has literally increased more than twice the usual charges. As a result of the prevailing road condition, the road has become a no-go zone for citizens.
I live at the FPRC community where the road has become a no-go zone for pedestrian vehicle owners. And the road, as we speak, is very challenging. As you can see me in my rainbow this morning, I have to park my car somewhere last night where I walk and pass through the mud. And now this morning, I'm on my way back to work, passing through the mud the same way.
The road condition are in the Labroya is suffering with the women, then even the men, and not easy. For us to take one people go from FPC to go FPRC, that 150 days, our brother boy rather than in the Ghana, they suffering, they are also with the women, feeling for them, the road condition not easy. So you bet on here, they rather make you all sick. So you are here to face our road, at least okay, so far, the suffering here. And people are trying to go to school, they're not easy, we're suffering.
Vehicle operators are finding it almost impossible to go through. Some cargo trucks transporting goods to other parts of the county remain stuck up in the mud for over 24 hours, a place where they normally used less than 2 minutes. Motorcyclists transporting people to the community have to pay additional fees to those living around the damaged area. In order for them to take part passes, citizens of the area are therefore calling on the government to come to their rescue and intervene as quick as possible. The LPRC community houses the resident of Nimba County's District Number 4 lawmaker, Honorable Gompo L. Cargo, and the most talked about Prince Yomi Johnson Polytechnic University. Despite the lamentations from the residents of the community, for the last few weeks, they are yet to hear anything fruitful from the government, especially the county administration. For KMTV News, this is Nathaniel Tukwa reporting from Nimba County's commercial capital, Ganta.
Well, it's now time that we bring you your sports news on News Today. Today at the Antoinette Thetma Stadium, it was an exciting moment after War Girls defeated Determined Girls by a goal to nil in the LFA off-season tournament. A lone goal from Determined Girls saw them failing to book their ticket to the final. This means War Girls will now play F Angels in the final of the women's category of the LFA off-season tournament. In the male category, Leska FC would take on Monrovia Club Breweries after both teams won their semi-final matches today. Leska FC defeated Tuni FC, second division club Tuni FC 3-0 in the second semi-final match, while Monrovia Club Breweries won the first semi-final match to progress to the final of the competition. Both teams will now battle things up in the final. Well, on that sporting note, that's how we go home on today's edition of KMTV News Today. But before going, here once again are stories that made the headlines. Aggrieved Catholic school teachers stage protest over demand for wages. President George Weah commissions newly confirmed cabinet ministers. NA Sports, Leska FC, Monrovia Club Breweries, War Girls and Earth Angels all progress to the LFA off-season tournament finals. We say many thanks to you for always joining our news broadcast from across the globe. On behalf of the entire news team here, My name is Anthony Kokoi. Do have yourself a pleasant good night from Monrovia.